cars can be daunting to some, what with all the complicated components in it. You've got turbos and DCTs and whatnot. Some people are actually looking for something a bit more simple. Nothing that you don't want, but everything that you need. Basic, but I mean basic in the best way possible. Now, the Suzuki Dzire makes a case for itself by being a top choice for first-time car buyers or those that want to replace their 20-year-old family automobile. It's got all the basics covered, the essentials really. Basics, again, I mean that in the best way possible. Now, on paper, it's got good fuel economy, it's got pretty good looks, better than the previous generation. The question is, how does it fare in the real world?
AutoDeal.com.ph can connect you to get the best quote from multiple dealerships near you. You can request and compare quotes from any dealership in the Philippines. Get the best deal with AutoDeal.
Under the hood, you've got a 1.2-liter four-cylinder engine that produces 82 horses and 113 Nm of torque, mated to a 5-speed auto gear shift transmission. Bit complicated, but we'll get to that a little bit later. On paper though, however, those two put together, this guy can do 12 km per liter. That's a gasoline engine, and that's doing that in the city. So really, not bad. Now, all around the cabin, it's back to basics in here, and again, that's not a bad thing. No frills around here, but nor is it bare bones. You get a 7-inch touchscreen in here for your infotainment, and the speakers in here don't sound too bad, especially considering its price point. Now, plastics don the dashboard, but the metallic accent trim does add to its overall appearance. Seats are cloth and adjusted manually. Although the flat bottom steering wheel is not telescopic, getting into a comfortable position is a cinch. And on the said steering wheel, you get controls for your audio and communication as well. The gauges are analog and very easy to read, and they flank a digital trip computer. Now, space inside the cabin is nothing spectacular, but it is ample for a car of this size. Speaking of which, if you yourself are looking for a compact car or a small car, do check out our video of the top small cars available in the Philippines right now. The link's right here. Legroom in the back is good, and there's also enough space under the front seats to slot your feet in, so passengers with longer legs, won't struggle too much. The same can't be said for the headroom, where anyone over 6 feet might have to slouch a bit to fit themselves in here. There is a center armrest with cup holders, door pockets, a 12-volt socket, and air vents as well. Though small, it's definitely better than nothing, especially in the summer. The front clip is similar to that of its hatchback sibling, the Swift, and the good looks, well, it carries over. You get halogens up front, fog lamps down below, and LEDs at the rear. Gotta admit, the front clip is one of my favorites in this particular segment. Would love to know what you guys think. Is it the Dzire, perhaps the Soluto, or maybe even the Reyna? Let us know in the comments below. Hey Jack, come and check this out. From this angle, doesn't it remind you of a Jaguar F-Type? It looks really great. It's a Jag. I really can't do that. There's no way. I can't. I just can't. The character lines and repeaters down the side give the Dzire a nice strong overall look despite being a subcompact. And it stands on 15-inch alloys which look alright. Definitely a million times better than the hubcaps. Behind them are disc brakes in the front and drums at the back with ABS. Overall, that makes the ground clearance 145 millimeters. Now the rear is where we get a little bit controversial. Most people don't mind it, other people are like, bruh. See, unlike its brother, the Swift hatchback, that one's got better lines. This one, well, it kind of looks like an afterthought, like you slapped some silicone on somebody's behind. Kind of like a Kardashian, except this thing won't clap back at you. But when you open her up, you are looking at 378 liters of space, which more than makes up for it. See, not bad at all. You can't get that in a subcompact hatchback, can you? Around town, the Dzire has quite the peppy motor for getting around, but it's still just a 1.2, so it isn't that swift. Yeah, but don't get me wrong. When you need to zip through traffic and overtake, it's more than capable. Speeding up might throw you off though because of the characteristics that the auto gear shift transmission has. You sort of have to get used to it. There's a delay when you're trying to floor it and you feel it when you first get in. But the more you get used to it, the more you'll understand how this transmission is programmed.
It really does feel like there's a robot operating a traditional manual for you as opposed to a normal automatic or CVT. At more reasonable speeds though, the transmission does feel pretty smooth. Downshifts are pretty straightforward as well. The ride in here isn't the best ever. The noise is apparent and sounds from outside creep in as well. More abrupt bumps make their presence known in the cabin and can be bothersome. The seats in here, however, are quite comfortable, and longer drives, whether in Manila traffic or heading out of the expressway, isn't going to be fatiguing at all. Cornering with the Dzire is quite fun because of its compact nature, and despite only having parking sensors and no backup camera, it's very easy to get in and out of tighter spaces since the steering is light. Though I'd hate to nitpick because this is a more budget-oriented car, the feel of the steering wheel is really nothing spectacular, nothing great, especially at the lower part where there are sharp corners on the inside that make it somewhat uncomfortable to hold when you're driving around.
It's not excessive, but it does have everything you need in a daily city slicker. It's got a fuel-efficient engine, it's got room for 4, and a boot to boot. It's definitely got the basics down. And at 700,000 Philippine pesos, it not only fits your needs, but it also fits your budget.